What is going on, everybody? We are live here on RK Outpost Live for the monthly supporter stream. The thing we do at the end of every month, the last Sunday of every month. It almost always seems to kind of sneak up, like how's a month gone by? I guess when you spend an entire week pretty much drunk in Vegas, it can go by that much quicker, which is what April has seemed to do. The kind of FNT G&G meetup that we had in Vegas, that some of the people who are about to pop on the stream were there. It was insane. It was crazy. But as a result, I feel like this month has gone by extremely quickly. But if you didn't know, it's your first time over here. For my biggest supporters, the people that are top tier channel members or Patreon supporters, wherever it may be, locals, whatever you feel like supporting, once a month, you get to hear from them instead of me. I get to fucking shut up and actually let everybody else talk for once, which is nice. We do that over here on the RK Outpost live channel. Support these guys. You can hear them, maybe subscribe to their channels, follow them wherever they happen to be, and get them some more exposure, which is fucking awesome. Before we do, let me say hi to a couple people in the chat. I see Sean Sullivan, Rodimus Prime, long last name, Chunk the Punk, Relentless, Raptors, Wirren of Bly, Z Highness, your average Patriot nerd, Jacob. Everybody's hanging out. Notifications turned on, says Z Highness. Awesome. That is good to know. Well, already it's only been 2 minutes. I feel like you've probably had enough of me anyway. You're already going to see me later babbling about shit over on the main channel in the mainstream. Let's bring these people in. We got some first timers over here. We got some people that have, come on for years at this point, but we also got some brand new faces. Maybe not brand new to you if you've been paying attention to some other growing channels out there, but we do have the man who don't miss. We got Alec Baldwin's finger. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. What do you got behind you there? Let everybody know about the goods. You're always showing off your firearms.
I got a M16 A1 and a Barrett M82.
Hell yes. Now, did anybody happen to get a chance to shoot some of those if they went out to the Vegas meetup?
They did, actually. Adam from Vets Talking helped organize a range day, if you will, with green-haired anti-liberal. Dermy Wormy was there. Bunch of the Legion of Memers guys, too.
Hell yeah. I feel like I specifically remember a picture of green-haired anti-liberal holding the Barrett that looks like taller than she is.
I think she's like half an inch taller than that thing.
Barely. She must have been wearing like fucking heels or something, maybe. But good to have you, man. Good to have you. Also returning, we've got Sleazy. What's up, man?
Going on, guys. I kind of said I missed the Vegas meetup.
Listen, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I probably did way too much singing. And to be honest, there are way too many people fucking recording me. But in terms of just getting out, meeting people, talking to people, hanging out, having drinks, it was a fucking blast, dude.
I just wanted to go to hear you sing.
Well,
record a video, laugh at it.
You could have just headed to Twitter for that. It's out there. It's all out there. But good to see you, man. We've got Grandmaster Chris, who originally when we joined, it sounded like he was in a car with a microphone or no, with a microwave going off, but I think the sound is good now. What's up, Grandmaster Chris?
Hi, that was me cooking a pizza. I apologize for all the noise. I would have fixed it, but my computer keeps freezing up. But it's good to be here. I'm also, like Sleazy, very sad that I missed the Vegas meetup because
I didn't say very sad.
Well, because I went last year to the Vegas meetup, and that was like a blast to go to hang out with everyone. I think like the very first person I met when I came to the bar was green-haired anti-liberal. Because I was like, is this where we park? Because I had no idea. First time I've ever been to Vegas. It was really confusing, but it was a ton of fun. And I'm very sad that I did not get to go this year.
That's all right. There's always next year, man, or somewhere else too. Whether it's Orlando, or who knows.
Especially knowing that Ryan was gonna do a karaoke dance number there.
Yeah, that may be the only time anyone ever sees that. That's for sure. And I think when I got to that point, when I was drunk enough to stand in the street with a man playing saxophone and sing Disney songs, that might have been like when I hit the low water mark. So because of that, we've got our man Low Watermark. What's up, dude? First time on the channel.
Yes, it is. Even though I originally got my StreamYard account a couple of years ago, when I realized you were doing these monthly streams and sending out links, I thought maybe I would, jump on and do it. For whatever reason, I didn't get around to it back then. But we started up my channel. I only have a couple of videos up on it, but I've been doing a lot of live streaming lately. Not on my channel. I've been invited to a new growing channel, and I've got, I don't know, 50 or 60 hours of streaming time in. Since
there you go.
Did my first video. So
you're telling us you're no rookie. You're going to be this is going to be a professional stream from Low Watermark. And no, it's good, man. I'm glad. It's always good to see people popping up new channels and stuff. And I know you started yours a couple months ago. So I'm sure we're going to send people there throughout the stream and get you some more followers as well. So that's always a good thing.
Cool.
Speaking of who's going to be putting those links in chat, probably going to be this guy right here, Biggles Metz, who I also did get to see in Vegas. What's up, man?
What's up? Yeah, I got to hang out with Alec Baldwin's finger and someone who kept getting lost. That's going to be on the panel in just a little bit. But yeah, I got my Stellar Blade and it's all right.
Yeah, there you go. You got your physical copy, though.
I got my physical copy and it's all right.
It was all right.
Yeah, this game's way better.
What is? I can't read it.
Sandland. It's Akira Toriyama's last game.
Sandland.
Yep.
It just sounds like Dune.
Oh, well, it's nothing like Dune.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get to hear a little bit about that later. Good to see you, Biggles. We've got, I think for the second time, I think he was here. I think it was here yesterday or last month. We got Crazy Actual. What's up, man?
What is up? And you are correct. This is my second time.
There you go. Good to have you back, dude. Good to have
Thanks
you back.
for having me.
And we've also, for the first time, got Yo Pops. What's up, Yo Pops?
What's up, Ryan? What's up, fellas? Oh, Biggles, by the way, I was lost physically, but I was there physically, but I was lost mentally. So just clear that one up.
Listen, when you're in Vegas, it is the city. I say this a lot. It's the city of overindulgence in every way, right? Whether you're talking about sex, gambling, alcohol, drug, like whatever, it is the city of overindulgence, which is why if you spend more than a fucking couple days there, like as a trip, you're asking to hurt later in a lot of different ways. So, but that's all right. We had a good time. We had a good time in Vegas. But what's that?
Well, I was just about to say, thank God I was only in Vegas for 1 day because back when I lived in Huntington Beach, California, I actually got kicked out of a nightclub once.
What'd you do?
I was really bored because I don't drink and I hang out with a lot of people who do drink. So I just decided to start like standing on a couch that was there, and the security guard told me to get down, so I flipped him off. I was just like, screw you.
Yeah, you sound like a weird dude to party with, Grandmaster Chris. Not lying.
Not really. I'm just like, I'm very, dare I say it, chill.
That's good. You need a little bit of chill sometimes when everybody's like freaking out and having a good time. That's what Alec Baldwin's finger does. He brings the chill, right? He doesn't get too excited. He's not going to get, he brings the chill to the situation. So I don't know if he helped me chill too much in Vegas, but you know, you deal with what you have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm probably not as big of a party boy as Ryan is, because I still remember last year when I talked to him at the bar, and he decided to give me a shout out to Matt Wilkins, and he called me Grand Measure Chris.
That is true. Yeah. So you were like, "Hey, I know Matt Wilkins." Blah blah. I'm like, let me text him right now, and I was drunk as fuck, and I text Matt like a very misspelled text message. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm here with Grandmaster Chris." He had no fucking idea what I was talking about, and I didn't remember texting him until he texted me the next day, and I saw our history. But
I just mentioned it because I always love like you and Matt talking on the more civilized age.
Yeah. And that is it's an interesting thing to bring up. because we obviously talk about expanded universe, the Star Wars expanded universe during that podcast we do every single month, A More Civilized Age, over on Matt Wilkins' channel. And we just recently had the 10-year anniversary of Disney giving the axe to the expanded universe. That was on with the 25th of April. And it's all coinciding around a time where there's yet more Disney Star Wars rumors surrounding, hey guys, there still might be hope. What if George Lucas comes back? And for me, I've actually been listening. I'll say this: the one only like positive thing that we've had for the EU from Disney over the past 10 years has been the fact that they actually released the full audiobooks for some of the things out there that had never had full unabridged audiobook productions, like the X-Wing series. So I actually listened to the whole X-Wing series unabridged, all the way through the Rogue Squadron books. It was fucking amazing. That's what I did to kind of celebrate the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, the best thing to happen after Disney decanonize all that stuff is it just created more awareness, because the sequels come out, they all freaking suck, and people are looking for an alternative to say, like, what would it have been like if these were good? And people turn to that. And I've currently been listening to the audiobook for the Plagueis novel, and my God, that book is so good. It's so good. I love how Palpatine has like an even more dysfunctional family than the Lannisters.
Yeah, Plagueis is an awesome book. But I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that came out over the past couple days, which I didn't make a video about or anything because I feel like it's really more of a discussion topic. But there was on a big YouTuber's channel over on Star Wars Theories channel, he had Roger Christian, who has been involved with Star Wars before, who worked on the original Star Wars movie, who was a second unit director on Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace and things like this. He was on Star Wars Theories channel just doing an interview, and he said, yeah, I'd heard something about George Lucas coming back. And that has resulted in another wave of stories about George Lucas potentially returning to Star Wars for new live action series. And I want to see if I can get the quotes right here. Christian stated, I think he's coming back. I'm pretty sure now that he's doing a series. I think they're bringing him into the fold from what I hear, because there's a Star Wars live action series coming. And I got a strong suspicion George will have something to do with it. That's what I'm thinking and prophesizing. That's what I had heard and read. He continued. I don't know anything apart from I'm prophesizing it might happen, but you see, he's been very physically present there. He's been down on sets and everything. Now, I'll give my take, and I want to hear from you guys about this. For me, I find it incredibly unbelievable. I've been talking a lot about, Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas and what I think is going on at Lucasfilm for basically 5 years at this point, and I think it's pretty much been spot on. And if I'm wrong, I will eat crow and I'll apologize. Say I was fucking wrong. But as you can even hear from this, he's talking about hearing and reading things. My guess is he probably saw a fucking article from We Got This Covered reporting on a bullshit story from a couple of months ago. And he was like, wow, look, George's coming back. A guy who hasn't worked on Star Wars in 20 years or anything. With George Lucas being 80 years old. The idea that for some reason, they would keep this secret instead of screaming it from the mountaintops. None of this makes sense to me. And I think it's just another false George Lucas coming back story. But it tells you how much hope Star Wars fans still have, because they're willing to actually consider it. But what do you guys think? I want to hear from the panel.
Hey guys, I've heard and read that George R.R. Martin has recently finished Winds of Winter and is about to start Dreams of Spring. That makes about as much sense as this. And besides, like you said, Ryan, he's 80 years old. He's not in the best shape physically. And what would it matter? We just saw him endorse Bob Iger, the guy who stabbed him in the back. And he handpicked Kathleen Kennedy. Let's never forget. He handpicked her because she's really good at getting Stephen coffee. And I don't know. It's just, I hear this. I'm just like, who cares? It doesn't make any difference.
I was going to say, best case is he's just a figure they can tout around in his old age, like they did with
with
Biden? Oh,
Stan Lee.
I was going to say
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee, but yes.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Well, like that's the best case is like, look, here's George Lucas again. No, we're not listening to him at all. But here's George Lucas. Go watch the movie.
Like we've alluded to for a while now, the only thing right now that can save Star Wars is an Elon Musk coming in figure, sort of, and just coming in and cleaning house, full on reboot, get rid of everything and start over. Anything less, it's not going to make a difference because all roads lead to The Last Jedi, and everything after that leads to what is presumably going to be the Rey Palpatine movie. So, and I know a lot of people probably won't mention this, but at the end of the day, as Gary says a lot, Star Wars for a lot of people is Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Darth Vader. And what is the very last thing we see from them in the sequel trilogy? Luke overdosing on the Force like a drug addict, Han Solo walking into his son's lightsaber over a empty chasm with no guardrails. That makes a lot of sense. And Princess Leia just dying just like that. So until you rectify that, it's going to be a lot harder for a lot of people to give Star Wars a second chance, because if you can't get it right with the characters that everyone loves, then why should we give anything else a chance? That's a big reason why a lot of people say Andor is really good, but no one watched it because a lot of people are feeling apathy at this point.
I actually think it would be every time we see one of these fucking stories, man, and you see so much copium, right? Hopium, really, I should say. These people that really want to like believe it. They want to believe that George Lucas is going to come back and save it. I think there are a lot of people out there that would be willing. They're willing to give it its second, third, fourth, fifth chances. They want it to be good. And I know there's kind of a narrative out there that, well, this side of the internet just wants everything to be bad. I think these reactions show you that, God, people desperately want fucking Star Wars to be good and something that they like. They want to love and talk about it like they love it. And that,
Can I just
go
say
ahead.
this? So I'm like, you could ask ABF. I'm like a complete normie to all these like subjects as far as like nerddom goes. But like, if I was George Lucas, right? He already made his money. He retired. He's 80 years old. And this is just, just in a business perspective. Why the hell would he go back? Especially after the way they trashed, after like Disney bought up the IP and they trash everything. Like, why would he go back? If I was him, I'd just be sitting at home with my money, just retiring and just chilling. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say,
it's all
like,
hopium, dude.
a part of me thinks that they need to like rectify some of the things from the prequels, because didn't they go out of their way to like exclude the prequels from like park rides and like toys and stuff like that as soon as Disney bought?
Right.
In a big way, yeah. There certainly wasn't like a lot of love shown to the prequels for the first several years of Disney Star Wars.
The very first line of The Force Awakens, this will begin to make things right. And then 3 movies later, we get to Solo, where it ends with Darth Maul showing up. So much for that.
I'm sorry. They just need to let it like just die. Just they should have just given a graceful death and just be done with it. The more they just keep on like trying to like rehash it and try to keep it going, it's just going to be worse. That's all I'm going to say.
The thing for me, it's if this bullshit story, and it's bullshit, if it was true, and he's doing a new live action series set in the Disney Star Wars universe, what the fuck is it going to be in? Like, it would just be in the same timeline. And also, why would they keep it a secret? That if this was true, just like they had George Lucas come out to write a letter of endorsement for Bob Iger, if this was true, they would be screaming it from the fucking mountaintops at Lucasfilm that George Lucas is back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not something you hide. This is something you get out there as soon as you can. Of all the projects that they've announced that have never happened, that they've just announced it to get people excited and they just go off and die somewhere, you tell me this is the one they hold off on?
I know.
It's just not quite believable to me. Are you gonna say something crazy?
Yes, because if you look at what they did with, I can't remember his whole name, but Christensen, the guy that did Darth Vader in the sequels, he was gone for like the longest time, and then one of the recent series that they did, that they brought him back into there. They were like parading around, and like before that, like with all the media and stuff, saying like, "Look, he's coming back." They're doing interviews and stuff like that, getting everybody all hyped up, just to give everybody a pile of shit in the end.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw. There's a video that came up probably a couple months ago of George Lucas walking into some theater or something, and it was like such a sad video because he looks like he can barely move.
It's like watching Biden.
It like legitimately, yes. And I mean, the guy's 80 fucking years old. He's not like the best shape in general. And you know, these things happen. And the idea that, go ahead.
Was he ever in good shape? It's a little joke.
I mean,
Listen, he was in when they did the fucking first one, those first couple, he's like, look at that guy. He's just like thin as a rail, and then he got fucking really rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you look at the behind the scenes for A New Hope, like he is way skinnier than he would end up becoming. In fact, he ended up becoming so skinny that he almost had a heart attack on set of A New Hope.
To be fair, that's just he looked like a normal person who lived in the 70s before everyone got super fat. You know what I mean? It's kind of just how people look. I've been watching a lot of like true crime shit lately, and like serial killer stuff going back to like the 70s and 80s. And like the one thing that always strikes me is, God, there's so few fat people. Like almost everybody looks like they're in decent shape.
I just like how Ryan's turning into a 40-year-old housewife. I watch true crime now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just kind of need something else. You know what I mean? Like whether it's, you know, tighter genre stuff for a while or whatever. And so I'm like, let me turn on this random Night Stalker thing. And I was like, that's cool. It fucking recommends me the next one. I'm like, well, now I'm in a fucking true crime, basically algorithm gauntlet on my streaming services, which is okay. The Jeffrey Dahmer one, that's about representation, right? Whenever you got gay serial killers and shit, you're getting that LGBTQ inclusivity. So I'm all about that. I'm a big supporter of DEI. That's why Yo Pops is here. We're like, it's just too white, pale, male, and stale, and we need to.
Yeah, I
change
need to get
things
some
up.
affirmative action hires. So you know,
I
super
think
up on
I'd
the opportunity
appreciate
there.
it a little bit better if it was at least Wendigoon or somebody.
Well, listen, Yo Pops is what we got.
Take it or leave it.
He wasn't even qualified, but we needed the diversity.
That's how it works. No, we're glad Yo Pops is here, just like we're glad everybody's here. Low Watermark, I don't know if you had anything to say on the topic. I don't know what a kind of Star Wars fan you are or anything, but what's your take on the whole George Lucas story?
Well, I think it's ridiculous. I think that, like you guys were saying, it's just people hoping. And I agree. When you get to retirement age, I'm a little older probably than, well, I'm definitely older than all of you here, I would guess. And I'm very close to retirement myself. The idea of going back and revisiting my glory days, you know, when I was young and stronger and ready to work, you know, 16-hour days as necessary or whatever, I don't look back on that fondly anymore. You know, I like the peace. I like the rest. I like, you know, doing comfortable things, comfortable times. The push of trying to do a series would be massive. He wouldn't be physically up to it at all unless he's just a figurehead. You know, and then why do that unless they're going to give him another $1 billion or something? I wouldn't. So no, I think it's ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
what you were saying about like it's just people hoping. That's one thing that no matter what it is, that's something I love about the Star Wars fandom is they are so forgiving when it comes to shit like this. Most fan bases, if their franchise gets fucked over the way Star Wars has, they would have walked away immediately. But Star Wars fans, they're willing to give them third and fourth chances, no matter what.
I think it's just when the term like toxic fandom or whatever gets thrown out, way more often, it really is just people are super fucking passionate. And what happens when people are super fucking passionate? If you do something wrong, you're going to get fucking bitched out. People are going to give their thoughts. They're going to give their opinions. I don't like this. I didn't like this. This is stupid. Why would you guys do this? On the same token, they are the ones that most want it to. They're the ones that want it to be good. And they're hoping that it'll be good. And if you deliver to them, they're going to tell you, I fucking love this. And they're going to support your shit.
Right. I got a question about that, though. What Chris was saying, like, how much of that is actual, like, the actual fans being forgiving versus like people who are hopping on the bandwagon? Because from like what I've seen, like the full-fledged fans, like they hate all this shit, and you know they have a lot to say, but like I feel like as far as Star Wars goes, it's mostly like propped up by just people who are like hopping on the bandwagon. You know, it's like the cool thing to like watch. You know, so I don't know if anybody agrees with that, disagrees with that. What do you guys think?
That is kind of true, because when The Force Awakens came out, it felt like a lot of people were on board simply because of the bandwagon effect. Because you know, it had been so long, there had not been a Star Wars movie in 10 years. It was a new clean slate, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is the cool thing, I guess." And then as the series went on, you could just see the box office numbers just slowly faded away, and then they just moved on to something else.
I'm watching a lot of this stuff happen. I don't know if you guys are Warhammer fans, but I'm a huge Warhammer fanatic, and I'm watching this stuff happen just over the last few weeks with what's been going on with what Games Workshop's been doing to the whole franchise.
Yeah, I've only spent like $20,000 on GW, so they're not getting another fucking penny.
You guys against female representation in your like space?
Yes, I'm worse than Ryan.
Well, the thing is, you have an entire fucking group of people that are just women in that shit. Like, it's not like there's not female representation in Warhammer. Just there's specific sets that yeah, like it is what it is. Shouldn't be a problem. What's for you guys that are familiar with Warhammer? What's your take on? Oh, it's because Amazon really wants to put female custodes in there, or custodies, and so that's why these things are happening. I think that's just a fake bullshit rumor too.
GW's for the last decade or so, at least at the corporate level, has become very woke and have made several attempts to retcon lore to be more diverse and inclusive. Like the old lore was the Emperor made the Astartes, made the Space Marines. They've changed that to now it was his wife helped make the Primarchs that the Space Marines were made from. Oh, by the way, it wasn't actually the Emperor who made the Space Marines. It was some guy named Astartes, and that's why they're named Adeptus Astartes. Like GW's just been.
Well, then you've got Demon Primarchs are now, what do they call it, transfigured Primarchs.
Yeah,
Transfigured.
Yeah, they're playing on acronyms of like saying like they're transformed into being what they are now instead of what they were, but it's just stupid.
Are they implying that they're like trans? Is that what they're implying?
Well, in this one, in that specific Primarch, I believe it is because it's the Primarch of the god of what is it? Pleasure, deviant.
Are you talking about
it's
Fulgrim?
yeah,
Slaaneshi.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, Slaanesh is actually not trans, but is actually both.
If the rumors are true about all this stuff, where do you guys think it's actually coming from? If it's not Amazon, is it the studio?
It's
GW. It's Game Workshop.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I also think it's a lot of these YouTube professionals that are in the Warhammer and stuff like that are just spreading their points of view, what they want to see ultimately, which is the DEI and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's always really disappointing when you see like the people who are directly associated with a certain IP come out and pretty much completely agree with all this stuff. For example, I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but imagine being a Doctor Who fan and listening to Russell T Davies come out and say, "Oh yeah, we're all for this. We're all for retconning the Daleks because we don't want to associate disabilities with evil."
Yeah, I am. That is one thing I'm very happy. I feel like I've been abused as a Star Wars fan, right? All this shit. I'm so happy that I never really got into Doctor Who because that franchise feels like it is the most fucked of any of these like really long running ones. Star Trek's in pretty bad shape as well.
Oh
But-
God, Star Trek.
but
what
what
have
they
they
all have
done
a
to Star
commonality.
Trek?
But what they're doing in Doctor Who, it's like it's next level, like an entire fucking special dedicated to essentially the trans lifestyle and trans acceptance and trans ideology shitting all over men, and then regenerating a new black gay Doctor Who whose entire purpose is that they're gay and black, openly admitting that we know children watch this show and we want to expose them to this so it becomes normal. It's pretty wild how out of pocket some of this shit is from Doctor Who. And they're just slam gas on the pedal all the way to the floor, going straight ahead as fast as they can with woke DEI stuff. And they seemingly do not care. And when you already had the disaster that was the female doctor, I guess maybe they're like, there's nothing to lose. We're getting the backing from the BBC anyway. Disney Plus is funding us now too. Let's just fucking go all out.
Oh, well, it's because we need to correct the mistakes of the past. Because we all know that people from the alt-right were totally watching Star Trek back in the day with a black captain and an alien race that was straight up a trans allegory. That they totally were into that back in the day, and we need to push them out and create this mythical modern audience that they will not shut up about. Oh, modern audience. Where is the modern audience?
Yeah, and like there's something to be said, right, for like making sure that you get a new generation invested in something, right? So they want to watch, right? People want to let their kids watch something, then their kids will watch it, become fans of it, pass it on to their kids. There's something to be said for that. But the thing you can't do is abandon your core audience, right? If you want to continue to grow the brand and grow the stuff like that, you can't do it at the sake of your pre-existing fan base. And when you do things that just wholeheartedly don't align with them, actively trying to push them away, like it seems Star Wars certainly tried to do, we have never fucking seen that work in favor of this kind of Gen Z pronouns in bios, diversity is our strength type of crowd that they somehow think is out there and will actually not only pay for their own streaming services instead of like use their parents, which they're probably not, go out and buy shit in droves like we see people do. Sleazy just said he spent 20 fucking grand. That's probably a low ball on Warhammer shit in his fandom, in his like fandom as a Warhammer fan. Like when you push those people away, you're left with nothing. And that's kind of what we're seeing now from some of these older IPs.
Exactly. And like even with the upcoming Space Marine 2 video game, everybody's like all excited for because like the next thing and everything. It just came out that the writer, the lead writer for Space Marine 2, they found her profile and everything, and it's just nothing but the flags and politics and stuff that she's going to be pushing into the video game when it drops.
That's a shame.
Yeah. As soon as the article came out, I went into Steam and removed Space Marine from my wish list, and then went into the discussion. And surprisingly, my comment's still up there, and all it was the GW broke before the fans did. And getting a lot of, this is an awesome comment. I love you. I'm doing the same. I'm removing the game. I'm not buying it. So I think GW screwed up royally. I think Space Marine 2 is going to not do so great.
But again, I think they're trying to push a lot of the old fandom out to make room for these. I don't even know what to call them. Like, people are labeling like tourist gamers, where they're just like kind of coming in, seeing what they can do with it, and then they ruin everything and then walk out.
Fans that don't exist, basically.
Yeah, I mean, gatekeep or be gate kept.
By the way, hi, Mr. J.
Yeah, what's up, Mr. J? You came in late, so I just bounced you in. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's about fine, long day, birthday, and everything.
Birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, old man. How old are you?
I am exactly Jeremy's favorite number.
69.
Gay?
What is Jeremy's favorite number?
Probably 45.
There you go.
199.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
By the way, I'm
Wiggins.
with you, Ryan. I think the 199 has become just super annoying, and I wish it would go away.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you, please.
listen.
Thank you, please.
All right, there you go. I've got it on my cup. Fuck the
Okay.
199.
Is that
Right.
purchasable in your store?
No, I wish. This got given to me. So 1 of 1 right here. 1 of
It's
199.
about to be 1 of 2.
Yeah.
But back to your arguments. The thing is, when it comes to Games Workshop, Star Trek, Star Wars, it is the age-old history. You listen to the group that makes the most noise, and who does not make the most noise? It's the silent majority, i.e., the real fans, because they don't have time to jump around on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, because they are knee deep in their figurines, paintings, their collages, or whatever it is they run around making for whatever stardom fandom they're part of, right? And the YouTubers we see today are not fans. I think Jeremy uses Gary uses the word consumer. That's what they are, consumers. Fans are those who spend 10, 15, 20, 40, and sometimes 50 years collecting, being a part of the community way before there was internet and it was easy having, contact with one another. And people who come in today, they're just consumers. They see something that they like, but they don't really like it, so they want to change it so that it fits into whatever it is they want. And then they move on because their attention span today is shorter lifespan of a fucking day fly or whatever, and they're gone. And what we're left with are ruins where the real fans that actually spent the money, i.e., Mr. Sleazy up there, says, you know what, I'm done. I have enough material to last me a lifetime, especially if it's 40K in books and games and whatnot.
Resin printers and 4K resin printers are a thing now.
Sure thing.
Exactly.
And I may have started that.
And you have books enough to last your lifetime, and games enough to last your lifetime, and whatever. So we don't need Games Workshop anymore. They have made so much material that it can last us 1 or 2 entire lifetimes, and they can now go broke. And now they can sit with their no fans and no money and thinking, but we listened to those who shouted the loudest on Twitter, on Instagram. We didn't bother to look behind the scenes to see what kind of people they were. We just hear their yelling, and now we're listening to them.
And to go off of what you were saying, Mr. J, a lot of the people who do this, like all the companies that do this, they have the hubris to believe that, oh, if we constantly tell our fans to fuck off, what are they going to do? Are they going to stop watching? Are they going to stop consuming? And a lot of people ultimately do.
Well, GW's in a really weird spot, right? Because we're not talking some company that made $30, $40 board games. To start on a small scale is going to be $200, $300 base. To build games that everybody's playing, you're going to spend thousands of dollars. Nobody knew walking into GW like, hey, here's $2,000. Sell me as many models as you can. We're not talking about a $60, $70 video game, which is already hard enough in today's economy. We're talking about a company that sells multi-$1,000 single armies to use. And if you don't like that one, you're out $2,000, or you have to find somebody who wants to pay $2,000 for an army. Like, GW is in the worst spot to make this change. It's worse than you guys are even saying. It's really that much worse.
And I think in the end, that the people who take the decisions in Games Workshop, they are listening to their PR department, and the PR department have lost all their sense of reality. These are young, highly educated, most parts liberal people who spend all their time again on social media. They think that they know what fans want, but they're not fans. The people who came into Games Workshop in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s were fans. They got a job there because they were fans. They probably read all the books at the time and knew all the seasons inside and out. The new people in the PR department know squat about this. They've never read a book. They do not care. They use what they have learned in in school, in the university, and think this is the way forward. This is what people want, right? and it just keeps failing and failing and failing. Whether it's Star Trek, Star Wars, 40K, within gaming industry, it's like a domino right now. It just fails, and there's nothing there to stop it because it's just cascading now.
So, Master J, it sounds like what you're saying is that it's the Funko Pop people taking everything over.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Gotta
basically,
get their
yeah.
funky
And it's
pop.
actually a little.
Perfect
I'd actually
analogy.
say it's a little bit
Perfect
worse.
analogy, right? And the people at the top that actually want to make good shit are who think I'm not an expert in marketing or whatever. I'm listening to my PR department, my marketing department, and they say online this is what people want. But deep down they know this is not true. But they have to go with the people that they've hired to take those decisions, and they're just losing and losing and losing and losing. And it's every single IP now. It's infected everything. I can't think of one IP right now, whether it is Tolkien or whatever, that's not affected. I mean, even Dragonlance is probably going to get affected in the upcoming books and everything they're writing now. Everything is just a disease, and we have no idea how to get rid of it now. Because
I know exactly what you're saying, Mr. J. Back when Last Jedi came out, I was left thinking like, man, how could it get any worse than this? And then
Amazon said, "Hold my beer."
Then Obi-Wan Kenobi came out.
Yeah, and then the same exact thing happened when Last of Us came out.
Well, the same thing just happened with Fallout. The people
I
who
tried
Fallout,
watching Fallout. I couldn't get past the first few
that's it.
episodes.
I watched the entire series because I was going to review it, because I've played every single one of the Fallout games, every single one of them, regardless of how trash they were. I at least bought them and played them. And I said, this show was pretty, but it's a shiny skin suit of Fallout. It retcons so much of the lore, it destroys everything. And I got absolutely ratioed, but at the same time, Kotaku and Polygon are writing articles. Well, yes, it retconned all the lore, but that's a good thing because diversity.
And
it's like
it's actually a good thing that they did this.
and it
love
feels
those
like
articles.
it feels like it's a Star. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
It feels like Star Wars all over again, where the fans are like, "This is garbage," but all the normies are like, "What are you talking about? It doesn't have any of that. It's fine."
So
That's exactly it.
I watched the Fallout series. I am not some massive Fallout fan. I played the original one. I played Fallout 2. Played Fallout. I don't know if I played 3. I played 4. I played New Vegas. I played a decent amount, but I'm not like super into it. You know what I mean? I'm not super into the lore. And I watched it, and I thought it was for the first 6 episodes, I was interested. There was some like kind of goofy, dumb shit, and there were some parts where they were trying to be funny, and it was not funny at all, which is always rough when like you have a joke fucking bomb. But the last couple episodes kind of fell apart for me a little bit, made a lot of things that happened earlier seem really stupid. But I didn't hate it as much as a lot of other people seem to. I thought the fucking ghoul was cool as shit. I really cared about his storyline, and I somewhat was invested in what was going on with Lucy and in the drama, like what was going on behind the scenes in the vaults. I could not give less of a fuck about Maximus. I hated that dude as a character.
Hey, bro, give me a stim pack and heal me. Oh, and if you do, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, what is supposed to be an absolute Giga Chad knight, reminiscent of medieval times, fighting for something bigger than himself, is now a beta cuck. The entire Brotherhood is that way now. Like,
I just watched Dune 2, right? Great visuals, great acting, except for Zendaya's character, who's been made into a fucking cunt. She's just a cunt.
Yeah, she's the worst part. She's the worst part of that movie.
I was literally thinking throughout all the movies, she does not believe in him. She does not believe in him. She really does not believe in him. She's a cunt.
Well,
Everything's they want to enslave you, and the proof is there. He can do what the Bene Gesserit can do. He survives the fucking blue water. Yada yada yada. The proof is in the pudding right in front of her. It's slavery.
No. That's not true at all. She knows the truth, which is that it's a made-up prophecy.
Yeah, but he can do what it's. That's true, but he's actually doing these things.
Yeah, but she knows it's made up, that it's literally a prophecy that's meant so he can go there and so they can feel like he's doing this. So that's kind of why it's so funny, because it's one of the reasons apparently Denis Villeneuve made the change to her character, so to make the audience understand what's going on a little bit more, and that it's not just this hero of prophecy or anything. And
I know that in reality it is his son that is the Messiah, but he still has all these powers, right? He can do things that no man should do. He can survive things no man should survive. And she's just nah, whatever.
She doesn't doubt what he can do. She's scared of what him doing those things and taking control of her people could possibly lead to. And it turns out that it's going to lead to a galactic fucking war that kills like 40 billion people.
Yeah, whatever.
Right, and isn't it
40
true?
billion.
That
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that Frank Herbert, the reason why he wrote Dune Messiah, the sequel to Dune, is because he felt not enough people understood what the whole point of Paul's arc was?
So I've heard that claim out there, but I haven't seen any evidence to back up that claim. So I don't know.
And Messiah wasn't the only other book that he wrote. There's a
shit ton more.
Yeah, Children of Dune came after that. And then the book, like you said, the books get really freaking weird as time goes on. When I heard that Paul's son turns into like a human sandworm hybrid god emperor, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's actually the Messiah. He's actually
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
The books are how old now?
Yeah, fucking 60 years.
The 50s.
Yeah.
But I mean, to that point, like, yes, it's weird, but if you actually read the details, even from the first couple books in the series, there's stuff just as weird, if not weirder. I don't find that out of place or the shocking thing that doesn't feel right. The entire universe is weird. There's tons of weird things. There's tons of weird people. I get what you're saying, but it like read the books and it kind of just it all fits.
I would found it weird that there are just humans in the entire universe. That there's not one fucking alien, and you have literally tens of thousands of inhabitable planets, but not on one of them is there intelligent life. I was like,
the sandworms, are they not intelligent creatures?
No, and they are not originally from Arrakis.
Okay,
they were put there.
Raxus says, Ryan, love you and your 5-head. Thank you, Raxus. I appreciate it. My 5-head loves you too. Shout out to the chat for being here and hanging out. I see a lot of people from the GCA, by the way, coming out and representing. So shout out to you guys. And thanks to all my guests for joining me. I hear they are. And thanks to all my guests for joining me. I did like one of the common things we've seen over the past maybe 20 years with fandom is really with social media and the way it's kind of been proliferated around everywhere. People very much have a feeling of wanting to be part of something or view that they're part of something or doing something cool or whatever. So when you have things that are popular, people, even if they might not be interested in it, want to attach themselves to it to be like, hey, look, I'm part of the club. I'm part of this. I'm part of that. They want this like feeling of inclusion or joining something or whatever. So you can post on Instagram or put in a Facebook post on it, whatever it may be. I think that's really one of the things that kind of led to this, whether people want to call it tourists or whatever, however people actually want to describe it, led to these people that don't actually care about something, but then get into something. And then within 1 or 2 years might very quickly fall out of that and be on to the next big thing because it's not cool or hip or whatever anymore.
These are the people that laughed at many people when they were in high school or junior high or whatever it is in America. And then suddenly you have 2008 and Iron Man comes out, and suddenly being a nerd is suddenly cool, and being one of the creators, let's say YouTube nerds or whatever, suddenly you have access to all these actors because it's now cool being a nerd. So the people who bullied, right, now see that chance to say, okay, why should these losers that I bullied in school have all this shit? I want it, and if I can't have it, I'm destroying it.
And
That's
to
what
be
bullies do.
and to be fair, most actual fans like us, we're all for like more people joining into the club and whatnot. All we ask is don't be like that lady who said that Gary of all people knows nothing about Doctor Who, but she's the expert. That's all we ask. By the way, hi Reefer.
The thing is, right, They call us all kinds of ists and isms. And for the first 50 years of the fandom, we never saw each other. We never knew how we looked. We never knew what skin color we had, what religion, what color, whatever. We did not care. And we still do not care. But these people cannot accept that we don't care, so they have to put their problems into our world. I don't give a shit who you are. We love the same thing, whether it is Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever it is. We are together in the thing we love. Everything else doesn't matter, but it matters to these people that come in now, and they can't handle us saying that. Listen, just respect the law. It's nothing to do about skin color. It's nothing to do about race. Just respect the 80 plus years, especially when it comes to comics, the 80 plus years that came before you, and all the people who spent 50, 60 years creating, but they don't care.
It's people trying to turn escapism into propaganda.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, the whole point of all this was like, you know, it's supposed to be all fantasy. You know, it's not supposed to be anything. Well, maybe there's some, you know, inspiration from the real world with, you know, some of these creators, but it's supposed to be like fantasy. It's supposed to be not of this world type of stuff. You know,
giving hope to people. Let's say you were bullied in school. Let's say you're poor. Let's say you are, you know, you have a disease, or you have a whatever, something that gives you hope that there's something better out there, that you can fantasize being a part of the show. We've all been there when we read a book, watch a movie, a comic, that we put ourselves into this. And we don't care whether I look at a fucking green character like Hulk, or it's a black character like Falcon. I imagine myself being one of them if I read that comic. It doesn't matter what skin color that person has, or whatever fucking alien he looks like. When I read that comic, that's me, or that's how it felt when we were young and teenagers, right? But the modern fans, i.e. consumers, they don't understand. They actually think that it's literal, that we literally have to watch people of my skin color, of my sexuality, of my religion. We don't care. We simply do not care. We just want a good story. That's all we care.
Yeah,
we just want
and I think that like the section of fans that you're describing, I think it's very small, actually, right? I think it's a very small amount of people that are actually sitting there, you know, putting their foot in the ground and saying, we need representation in this way, this way, this way, this way.
Yeah.
And then I think, but then I think the kind of the overall, what do you want to call it? Like normie, or just kind of that more kind of modern social media audience, like I was kind of describing earlier, that kind of like flirts like between all these different fandoms, moves on to someone that's not popular anymore. Yeah. That's when they might put their voices behind that, because it might align with their political ideology, or their generation says stuff like, or whatever. You know what I mean?
And you're absolutely correct. The problem is that this small minority are the loudest. These are the ones that everybody listens to, everybody looks at, because they have all the attention. The silent majority, the real fans, they don't matter, because for a long time we didn't do anything. We just sat there and let it happen. And then these company things, well, all right, well, this is what people want, and it's now cascading out of control, right? Because the silent majority didn't say a word for way too long, and now the loudmouth extreme minority are in control,
and they get propped up by the corporations. That too.
We just got a big super chat come in from Sundowners Club for $99.99. Holy shit! Thank you, Sundowners Club. Big super chat showing some support for RK. Well, thank you, buddy. Appreciate awesome. That, man. Shout out to Sundowners. $99.99.
Now Ryan can eat tonight.
That's true. I was, you know, I actually already ate, because I'm probably not gonna eat anymore today. But
have I fixed my mic? Holy fuck, I did.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Were you talking the whole time?
Not really. I was kind of jumping in, wondering why I was getting ignored. Felt kind of bad, but I realized
like
I was.
You got here late. We're just gonna talk over you, Reefer. Is that what's happening?
I realized I was just on too many vitamins, as Gundam says.
Ah, there you go.
You know, we're good.
Yeah, I hear you.
No,
Jackson,
I was just gonna.
Real quick, Jackson Cagle for 2. Hail chat. Hail Jackson. Thank you, buddy. Go ahead, Reefer. What's up?
I was going to say, Mr. J, what you're missing here is all of these people that control the corporations and have the quote-unquote voice. They have a serious case of main character syndrome. They think literally everything is about them.
Yes.
And so it has to be.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it
Character
can't make
syndrome.
sense.
Yep, you're absolutely right. 100% right.
Main character syndrome mixed with white savior syndrome.
Well, no, I think that has more to do with low IQ.
And that is where the bullying comes in, because bullies are often very, very narcissistic. It's all about me. I have to be the center of attention. So
But they're not even real bullies.
Well, not in the classical sense, but still they are, because they are bullying people as we speak. This is bullying.
I don't know.
It is.
I'm pretty sure that one guy who I don't want to say his name, but that really goofy guy with the Baby Yoda plushie in his profile pic, I seriously doubt he was ever bullying people in school.
Well, it's like we've had the argument about like bullying before, but I think that there are some people who traditionally, when they were growing up, maybe didn't have any power or anything like that, or maybe they felt like they were bullied or targeted for whatever. And as soon as they get an ounce of perceived power or something like that, they'll do everything they can to try to like abuse it. Like you see that, I think, especially in the case we're at like online, but I don't know.
Well, that's
Now
the thing
Go
that's the
ahead.
thing that happens with the whole Karen syndrome. You know, when the whole lockdowns and masking and all that stuff came out, those people finally found that they had some power because they could make a stink and people would listen to them. And that's what's going on in all of the entertainment industry as well, where the people who never had any are getting theirs and they're using and abusing it. That's where a lot of the cancel culture comes from as well, is because these people have gotten some power. They want to hold on to it. And if you speak even slightly against them, they're going to find a way to cancel you and get you out. So it's consolidating the power too over time.
If you threaten their power and their income, they will retaliate. They will lie, deceive, and whatever they can do, but just do not threaten their position.
Just think that smack in the face is what they fucking need.
Yeah.
In Minecraft, yeah.
Well, it's
just to
as
be
Mike
clear.
Tyson says, a lot of you people talk like you've never been punched in the face before.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Minecraft and video games, I did want to talk a little bit about all of the Stellar Blade. We'll just say the controversy that's been going on.
Great segue, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm a pro. You know, I have to fucking deal with segueing Jeremy and Jay, so I can get it figured out.
That sounds like a nightmare.
But I do think that when you look at Stellar Blade, the best way to describe it is a controversy, right? There was controversy for the past couple of weeks leading up to release because games journalists were very mad that this very sexy woman was the protagonist of this story, and they were mad that it was going to release uncensored. A lot of promises about it being released uncensored, and then lo and behold, it gets released, and there is some things that are censored. Now, certainly there's still a lot of like very provocative outfits and shit in the game. There's no doubt about that. But it does look like they bent the knee a little bit. And, you know, I think probably people got like 90 or 95% of what they promised. But overall, there's still a lot of people that are mad about it. There's a petition that's now going on around surrounding it, Free Stellar Blade. A lot of people speculating that Sony very specifically were the ones that basically put the hammer down and said, no, you cannot do this. It needs to change. But I don't know if anybody here has had a chance to play it yet. Biggles literally has his copy right there. But there's a couple things because one, is it actually a good game? Two, is the censorship affect anybody, like their enjoyment of it? And just the principle in general of games journalists using a so-called controversy to try to force enough outrage to get something censored, even censored in the way that it has been.
Yeah, we need to censor Stellar Blade, but not The Last of Us 2 sex scene. That's perfectly fine.
That's exactly what it is, right? Because the company who made this made Nike.
Nike.
I'm fucking American. I speak English.
I know.
Okay?
I know. I'll jump in as the weeb and correct you. It's Nike. That's the game.
It's a fantastic game that borders on being able to be held on Google and Apple Play stores because of how close to loot it is. And for them to say like, this is totally not Sony, telling us we have to censor our stuff is complete BS. And the fact that it's not just this game, the censorship for Tomb Raider just happened. I think this is going to be a trend where we get what we're promised at first, and then very quickly it's like, oh, update, we got to censor it all now, but thanks for the money, guys. No refunds.
I love it when the Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out and they censored like 2 Miranda butt shots, but not the other ones. Because there's still some butt shots in that game, but it's only like the 2 images you see in all those bullshit articles saying BioWare is sexualizing women in their video games.
That's the part that doesn't make much sense to me about this entire thing is when you look at all the outfits, there's a couple of them that it's like, oh, that outfit was made to have a little bit less cleavage or a couple more inches on the waistline of of these shorts that she's wearing, whatever. But there's also still outfits in the game that are like way more fucking revealing or provocative that are still like the skin suit that remain that way. So it's like, well, I don't even understand what the censorship achieves. Like,
I think it's pandering to the people who are complaining about it, but trying not to piss off the fans at the same time.
Exactly.
Well, no,
That's how I think
here's
too.
the thing. If you look at the censorship, because I'm autistic about this shit, they changed like 4 polygons and they just reshaded it.
Yeah,
they covered the chest
on the thigh cut. They changed like 4 polygons. It was single digits and really low. They recolored them.
It was several inches of her hip.
Right,
several
but
inches of her hip.
That's very few
Cleavage
polygons.
also.
Yeah, and then cut out the cleavage.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't like that it's being censored, and I don't like this is the second game in such a short time to start getting censored. And I feel like it's a general push where we're going to get games that aren't censored at first, and then later on they're going to be.
Slippery slope.
And it all started because the hard R graffiti. But am I the only one who's played Stellar Blade so far?
Yeah, because I refused to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I refused to buy
can't
consoles.
find one used.
Okay, so Stellar Blade is basically like a worse version of Nier. Nier is good. Stellar Blade's okay. I've played for about 6 hours, and I feel like there's nothing going on in the story, and I'm just fighting my way through stuff. And it's like all the lore to the game is in like finding dead bodies, and it's telling you. And like in 6 hours of the campaign, I basically am. This person died in the very first opening scene, and now I'm trying to get to this one place, and that's it. There's like nothing really going on in the story so far. And because I just got the disc version and I didn't update it to get the censorship, I have the bad fucking output lag. So every time I fucking click a button, I'm fucking like, it's not fucking working. So it's the most aggravating thing ever that I'm almost at the point where I'm like, I don't even give a shit that it got censored. I'm just going to patch it so I can fucking have good fucking gameplay.
Yeah,
So
what you're saying is you're
annoying.
playing for the story and not the jiggle physics.
Dude, I don't even know.
This is also the guy
like
who got
retarded.
married to another dude in a video game.
I didn't get married to him. I was just doing it for a video, and then I realized that nothing matters in that fucking game who you marry. It doesn't give you any benefits, so I just had it as yeah.
It's hard to play games using only your left hand.
Well, listen, I've seen motherfuckers beating Elden Ring that don't have any arms or legs, and it's like that is not inspiring to me. It makes me feel like shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
God dang, why am I not this good?
I don't need to see some chicken nugget beating Elden Ring to be like, wow, I really suck at video games. That's awesome.
And it is easy to beat games with one hand.
But how is the game? How is the gameplay itself, despite the story or whatever, like in terms of combat wise?
So combat, it kind of feels a little bit like a Souls game because now I'm like memorizing patterns that certain enemies do just to make it easier. I watched Beardo play it and he died a lot. And my biggest problem is me trying to jump across a thing and then dying to fall damage. I've died more to fall damage probably than I have to combat.
It looks like to me when I was watching people play, it looked like in terms of like difficulty level, it felt like in between a Souls game and like the fake Souls of something like Jedi Fallen Order. Not as hard as like Sekiro, like somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
That's because
Sounds
no
like a
one has
skill
the
issue.
balls to make it as hard as FromSoft does. And I'm pretty
well-
sure Sekiro was done by a Western studio.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think there's. Listen, I think it's awesome. Fucking Souls games are all about. We're gonna make it as hard as fucking possible for you. But at the same time, it's like, okay, that's the audience they're searching for, right? Which is not going to be everybody. And then this one opens up to people of differing skill sets, but
the
it was
controls
really
are just janky.
It was really marketed heavily though about Eve and about how, hey, we want to show a attractive female protagonist. We don't think there's anything wrong with that.
That's why I say it's a bad near game.
Yeah, and so for that to be for that to be now the sticking point, and I think that in a lot of ways the journalists got what they wanted. I think it got censored, and now you have some people that are either that cancel their pre-orders or refusing to buy it, refusing to play it for those reasons. So I think at the end of the day, the journalists end up kind of winning this round. That's how it feels to me.
Well, and to be fair, it's still a PS5 exclusive, so there's not going to be as many sales anyway.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's PlayStation 5 exclusives that sell, millions and millions of copies. This is not. Yeah. This was probably never going to be one of those, But I do think there was a lot of good word of mouth and a lot of. It seemed like a lot of passion behind people that were excited for it, and now it doesn't quite feel that way, which is a shame because Biggle says it's pretty mid. I've heard it's damn good from a lot of people, so I don't know.
Like I said, you can't really trust Biggles on his reviews.
Whoa! Hey, I said Unicorn Overlord was good, and you bought it. Okay?
Yeah, it was. You do good reviews. I'm just giving you shit over the marriage thing.
Dude, I married Melisandre, okay? That's who I married. It's outrageous.
Is that wait? I thought you said you married a man.
No, I was doing it for a video, so I had all the wedding things, and I said it was funny because Lex just made fun of Elaine, rather than being like, "Oh, we're gay now," right? That's what it was. I never married Lex. I did it for a video to see if there was any benefits to who you marry, and basically, it's better to marry a caster because that ring is dog shit. So there's no point in marrying anybody, really.
Did you want me to show this, Sleazy, the Nikkei?
You can. It's just a comparison of what the company is putting out versus what was Stellar Blade and what they're trying to censor. It's like it doesn't make sense that the studio
would do it themselves. Yeah. I feel like
That's
it probably
why
is
I'm
Sony.
I'm in the camp that it's Sony because Sony has done this to so many other games. Like I want to say Devil May Cry was censored the same way. Like
as people point out too, it's a mature game. Why even do it? It's really weird.
Well, it's because these companies realize that parents don't actually pay attention to their kids and just let them play whatever games they want to play.
Yeah, not
like
do you think that this is really about like saving the children from the horror of looking at this?
No.
I think it's a state. I think if Eve, the lead character, I think if she was a fucking 450-pound black lesbian, I don't think they'd be censoring. If she looked like Lizzo, I don't think they'd be censoring shit.
Nope.
Exactly.
I think it's very much a statement, a cultural, political identity, whatever kind of statement you want to think that it is in terms of, hey, we don't like the fact that you're sexualizing a traditionally attractive woman as opposed to doing something that's like more diverse and accepting. It's not okay for women to be looking at these idealized versions of themselves. It's harmful to them. That's where I think the statement is.
Like with the way the studio is, I almost feel like Sony told them they have to censor some stuff, and the little 3 inches of clothing and the lace on the chest piece was kind of like, oh, you want censorship? Here it is. Fuck you. That's what you get.
I think maybe Sony said to them, listen, just censor just a little bit so we can actually go and say, well, we did it, but they didn't really. I mean, they can say, look, on paper we censored it, but in reality it was just just a little bit, just a tiny.
But
little bit.
again, why censor it when you have Baldur's Gate where you can see tits and cocks hanging out?
Physics.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, there's cock physics in some games. That you can fuck a bear in Baldur's Gate. Like,
Well, technically he's a druid, but
It's
it would
still a
be in
bear.
bear form.
It's still a bear.
But why are you making these arguments, Bagels? It makes everything you say worse.
I'm just saying it's a
That's
person who
right
changes
there.
into a bear.
Okay, because it's
That's
not
a
a
real
real
fan.
bear. It's just actually bear shaped, so it's okay now.
so
It's like furries,
As soon
man.
as you say
Ryan's
that,
going
I'll
to go
think
to
about a
FurryCon,
super
right?
troopers.
I'm not going to FurryCon. But speaking of, right after Biggles talks about marrying a man in a game and about how fucking bears should be acceptable or something, he actually has to leave.
Yeah, yeah. My niece is in the championship game for a sport I don't like, so I have to go support her.
Is it soccer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't count that as a sport, but
It's called football.
I gotta go support my niece. So
You go
thank you
find your
guys.
bear, buddy.
I fucking killed Halson. Okay, shit. You guys suck. So yeah, I have my own channel. I put it in the chat. You can follow if you want. I play video games like Stellar Blade or Sandland, which is so much better. And I also play Unicorn Overlord, where Sleazy says I married a guy, but I married the chick. So
Or you can watch him fuck a bear.
I did not fuck the bear. I killed the bear. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
See you, Biggles.
Later,
Thanks for
Biggles.
hanging out, man. Make sure to throw your link in the chat when you leave. And make sure everybody go subscribe to Biggles Mets, as well as everybody else that's here. Grandmaster Chris dropped, and I've seen him attempt to read. Oh, here he is. Perfect. There it is. What's up, Grandmaster Chris?
I'm so sorry. My internet for a second cut out and I got kicked out.
All good. These things happen, especially when you have Spectrum. This tends to happen a lot to me, at least.
I don't have that problem with Spectrum.
American internet. Lol.
I have Starlink.
What the fuck you mean American internet?
It
Gotta
sucks.
deal with that.
I will
Gotta
say
deal
our
with
Hold on,
internet
hold on. No.
infrastructure.
I
We
have
live
been
in
a network
complete.
engineer for 10 years. I have
Yeah.
worked on connections into foreign countries. Foreign countries have far worse internet than America. Sure, it's
Yeah.
not standardized, but we are significantly better than you.
Nope.
Not in, but except for Korea and Japan, though.
Denmark, Sweden, and Finland have the best, most stable internet on the planet.
Sure.
Hope
I've had
harder.
listen here. I've had this
Oh.
line. I've had this line with this company since 1999. I've lost internet
Since
connection
199.
3 fucking times, and 2 of them were my own fault. So yeah, we have better internet.
That seems very anecdotal to me. But let me look. Internet speeds by country.
Not speed, stability.
Yeah, stability is what you want to look
Oh yeah,
for.
because DSL with your 3 megs is super. It's stable.
Yeah.
That makes it better than gig
I have-
internet.
Okay,
I-
I would. Yeah, I was gonna say I would rather have
I have
like
1 gigabyte line.
average speed internet,
I have
like
a 1 gigabyte line.
up and down.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good. I can't find that
Down,
where
side to
I-
side.
where I'm trying to live. A couple neighborhoods down, they have fucking fiber where I can get fucking 2 and 2,
Oh,
but that has
Ryan.
not come to my place yet.
Talk when you get some free time. Message me up. I can find you a way to get around that real easy.
Okay, I will definitely do that because I'm tired of not having the best
Oh.
internet in the world. But how's Starlink work?
It's
Reefer?
pretty fucking great. Like, I mean, you can tell
What's the speed?
when my speeds. It depends on what I'm doing, because I've noticed that on certain things they throttle it once I hit a threshold. Like game downloads, they're not big fans of. It's a lot of data that you're moving because game programmers don't know how to do their job and package their shit right. Sorry.
I think the choke point on the Starlink is the upload, right?
No, the upload's fantastic. That's what I'm saying. Like for where I'm at in the middle of nowhere with just on satellite shit, I'm getting like 35 to 130 depending on what I'm doing. Like, and if I wanted to pay for priority, it's a bit out of my price range right now, I could get to gig up and gig down capabilities because it's limited by a price gate. Like There you go. Capitalist America. That's how it is.
Yeah, I've got a dish. I take it camping with me in case we need to make a phone call.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
one of those like travel ones that's
No,
supposed to go
you
like on an
can-
RV or whatever.
I
can
have it in
take
a backpack.
I can take mine off the roof of my house and put it on the top of my fucking camper when I'm camping and activate it from there. I can do it all from within the app.
Yeah, and we got Subhuman here. What's up, Subhuman?
YouTube is asshole.
YouTube
there
is?
he is.
Yes.
What didn't tell you we were streaming or something?
No, I just having a hard time trying to get to StreamYard, so I had to use my brain to get through, but everything's good now.
That can make things hard sometimes, but no, it's good to hear.
and,
I take it you're driving. I think I hear you driving right now.
No, I'm parked. I've been parked since like 9 o'clock this morning. That's my AP running. That's always what you hear, and the reefer is also going too. So I am on the
Nice.
road.
My fucking AC is not working today. It hasn't been working all day, but I couldn't get somebody out here to do it because I'm like, I'm gonna be fucking streaming all day, so I can't really I have no idea if they're gonna be able to be it while I'm there or not. So probably have to wait till tomorrow to get that fixed, which is, it's only 78 degrees in here right now.
That's fishy weather for me.
It's moist.
Yeah, it's not fun, not fucking fun. Slain Hope for 5. If Eve was gay, none of this censorship would be happening to Stellar Blade. Hades is rated T for teen, but it gets a pass because he's gay for death.
That's true.
That is true.
Like the double standard sucks to see, but you just got to make your own shit at this point.
I'll get on making my own game right away.
Well, no, make it
Speaking of
support.
Hades, I actually did a video on how the second one's super uber DEI extra gay.
For Hades?
Yeah, this Hades 2.
So I didn't play the first one. I heard really good things about it from I feel like it did really well at the Game Awards and stuff like that, which usually doesn't mean shit. But I just heard a lot of people did enjoy it. I don't know who all played the first one.
Yeah,
here.
I didn't play it because it's not my style of game that I like, but it looked really good. It looked fun. I know I wouldn't enjoy the game. I'd play it for like an hour and never touch it again.
Yeah, it's a top-down game, but not in the style of like Fallout 1 and 2.
So what's up with the second one? I haven't heard really much about it.
It's going uber inclusive gay, and okay, it's exactly what we're talking about with Stellar Blade, because they literally have naked characters in there only covered with their hair, and it's like, yes, this is empowerment. Versus
Everyone's favorite Kotaku editor, tweeted out about this,
and gods in wheelchairs, and it's
because Hephaestus was thrown off a cliff as a baby. He's got to be crippled. It's not like he's an immortal godlike being or anything.
Nope.
Well, they do talk about how he looks fucked up now and
he looks fucked up.
Yeah,
he's got a fucking wheelchair.
He's got a prosthetic leg. He's got a wheelchair. He's super fat. It's like,
oh shit.
Is there a Kotaku article about it?
Yeah, let me find it because I'm sure it's in my history because I did a whole video on it.
Kotaku's still around. I'm surprised.
I know.
The day which Kotaku dies, I will throw a party.
It's in the private chat.
Every time Kotaku puts something on Twitter, I always write, "I will open a bottle of champagne the day you all get fired."
But yeah, no, I actually enjoyed covering this article because I could literally post, Kotaku shames Stellar Blade for, fetishizing women. Hades 2 is the kind of sexy we need.
Let's see. This one?
Yep.
What the fuck? This is Hephaestus?
Oh, yeah.
What? Oh god.
First
More
off,
like
wheelchairs never existed
Hephaestus.
back then.
And there's Aphrodite. Hades is the kind of hot we need right now. But Stellar Blade, no.
No.
And then you take a person in real life that looks like this guy, 300 pounds, and put it in front of these women, and they wouldn't touch him with a 6-foot pole.
Yeah.
Makes
They can
sense.
relate.
Makes sense. I'm still trying to get over this Hephaestus. Looks like it Doesn't even look like a dude.
No.
It's like an amorphous blob. I guess has a beard though, so.
I mean, he does have the man bun, so that makes him gay.
Yeah, maybe that's why. That threw me off.
No
you
shot.
just attacked your pops. But the way he has his name is ultra gay.
Shout out to why do you need a prosthetic leg if you're confined to a wheelchair?
Exactly.
I don't really know.
They're checking off every single
It's
box.
empowering, Ryan.
Checking the
That's all you
box.
need to know. It's empowering.
It's strong and brave.
Look, he's crippled, but he can still overcome it. I have no fucking idea.
Well, that's like this isn't the only one. I covered Life is Strange, which has a lesbian woman in it, but the original story, the original game, it wasn't in your face. So it was like, okay, cool. It's just the way it is. Versus the new stuff that's coming out where it's like has to be in your face, beating you to death with a trans Jenga flag, and it's like nobody cared about the first one when it was just okay. It is what it is. Versus now it's like every other line is I'm a lesbian. Did you know that? I'm a lesbian. Did you know that? I'm a lesbian. Did you know that? It's like, everything. It's every game.
The question I got submissive is who you trying to convince, me or you?
Right.
Yeah, like we have games, whether it's from Mass Effect or KOTOR, it's like, yeah, you have these choices and these possible like homosexual relationships, shit like that, little tiny parts here in the game, maybe a character here or there. Now it's all about that. And characters are created with the sole purpose of their identity to be, hey, I'm gay and black. And I just want to keep telling you all the time about how gay and black I am. Did I tell you that I'm gay and black? Instead of just being the character Jerry from this random PlayStation 4 game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right,
that's
because
like
nowadays you're a hero because of who you are, not because of what you do.
Yeah, that's like the NPCs are in my
But in
comment
their
section
mind-
all the time. Define woke, and it's like, okay, it's communist
in their
Marxism
mind-
focused on identity politics, and they're just like, never hear another word. They're like, they don't know what woke is. Yes, I do.
In their mind, being gay is a superpower. You are a superhero if you're gay.
It's a virtue.
Because every time somebody comes out, somebody who does sports or whatever, they act like we should give them a fucking medal. I'm gay. Yeah, so fucking what? Are you good at your sports? No? Then I don't really care. But they actually think being a gay makes you a superhero.
Yeah, it's just like
That's literally what it is.
it's just like between the comics and the manga. You see the comics, they're treated like a superhero, but you see them in manga or anime, they're normal people. They treat them like normal people. You know, it's too bad that back then in the 2000s, I was in high school and all that stuff. Yeah, there were gay people in my high school. Did I care? No. Were I friends with them? Yeah, sure. But nowadays,
they want to
no, they didn't want a medal. But nowadays,
you know,
what the fuck is going on? Like everything's
sorry,
in
man.
reverse.
No, they want a medal for sucking dick. I mean, if that's the case, every fucking woman on the planet should be getting a medal too.
Yeah,
we don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
so
No.
no recognition for what should be your duty. All right.
I'm a passport, bro. I'll tell you all about it.
It's also to the fact is that when they do all these lesbians, they have no idea. You do realize that there are really beautiful lesbians out there.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, I know. I'm friends with a couple of them.
That's the most lesbians I've encountered.
Ryan is one of them. I know that, and I think Malty is in the chat also. I know he's a lesbian too. So.
So most lesbians I've encountered in real life are not somebody that I care about as batting for the other team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That's
most
true.
of them, not all of them, but most.
But,
When I was bouncing at strip clubs and DJing, the lesbians were a lot hotter back in the day. I'm just saying.
I was recently watching an episode of Star Trek that has like probably the most realistic portrayal of a lesbian couple, which is they kiss a lot and then they break up at the end.
There's the reason they have higher DV rates, right?
Yeah.
Bed's talking $10. Here's gas money for Ryan so we can go to the range with ABF next year.
We should get you out there.
Yeah, if we can get some. I didn't even know you guys are doing that. That's fucking cool. But
yeah, we kind of just started it, tried to keep it quiet. I didn't want a bunch of people knowing that I was like bringing guns to the meetup and stuff like that. So I was kind of trying to keep it on
not to the meetup, but like to the range that you guys
exactly.
Yeah,
I
I totally
get
it.
Misinterpret that. Yeah,
I totally get that. Probably a good idea. But yeah, we can go out there next year, do something that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Base Cat Lady says guys just want to replace us, meaning lesbians, I think. Base Cat Lady, we don't want to replace you. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
Well, men are better at being women now, so you know.
That is
that's the way
true.
it is.
If you look
Yeah,
in every sport, it seems that way.
Yeah, no
if
kidding.
they
Sports,
continue to allow,
politics, fashion, miss pageants, whatever. We're just better now.
It's
it's
almost
still
like
hard to
women are
believe.
admitting that men are better, and they just don't want to
No.
say it.
It's so hard to believe that that fucking dude who was like bald and wore lipstick and was stealing the luggage that was in Biden's
Oh
administration.
yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
the atomic agency guy.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Like, it's
The bag snatcher.
how do you walk into an office and like pretend to treat this person like in any way with any respect whatsoever? Like, it makes zero sense to me that anybody that's someone like that should be in any position of authority anywhere, but specifically in the government.
That's how I got thrown out of a Games Workshop store once.
You're talking about him?
Well,
No, someone was there like that, and I was like, I don't give a fuck who you are, just leave me alone. And they're like, but I'm trying. I was like, shut the fuck up, I don't care. And I said some gamer
crime.
words, and they were like, you gotta go. It's like,
Hate crime.
hate crime. I once got fired.
I live in the South, so you know.
I once
Yeah,
got
it's
fired
the-
from a job for refusing to wear a mask during COVID.
God, that shit was insane.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah, like,
I was
listen, guys. I'm not interested in wearing a diaper on my face, please.
I was in the hard part about that shit is it's like fucking businesses that get forced to fucking implement this bullshit and feel like they either have to or have to shut down or whatever. I was lucky enough to find a gym that they shut down the first time, like they were told to. They opened back up, and when they tried to shut them back down, they're like, no, we can't afford to do this. Like, we can't afford to shut down. Go fuck yourselves. And they stayed open during lockdown, and they didn't enforce any fucking mask rules. They put boards up over all the windows so no one could see inside. And you walked in, and it was just like a normal fucking gym. Nobody wearing masks, nobody distancing anything.
What's
And-
actually
Real quick, the cops came in. When I was there one time, the cops walked in, 2 cops, fucking just in uniforms, look around, look at everybody, see no one's wearing any masks, all this shit, and they just turn around, they say, hey, everybody have a good workout, and they fucking walked
Awesome.
right out. Didn't give a shit. It was
Like they're
Nice.
supposed to, because they're actually supposed to catch criminals, murderers, thieves, rapists, and shit. Not
Yeah,
people
we've got
who are
we got better things to do.
what's funny is that the businesses that were forcefully shut down by the government are suddenly getting huge payouts.
yeah, in some cases, if they survived, yeah. Or if they didn't survive, I should say.
I had COVID twice. I've had diarrhea that was worse, and I'm in the risk group, gentlemen. Like, I am very large, not large, but I'm still at least 50 pounds, 60 pounds overweight. So I'm in the whatever category. I sneezed twice. I had a little cough, and 2 days later it was gone. It's a fucking cold.
Treat it like a freaking cold. Take the
Stay home.
take the meds
You like
yeah,
with
stay
every
home,
other
take the meds
disease.
that you need, and get all the sleep that and sleep it off. You'll be
If you're
fine.
sick,
Yeah,
you stay home, you stay in bed, you eat hot soup and drink tea, and you take some, pain meds or whatever. And within a couple of days, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I had way worse shit when I was in the Middle East.
It's kind of hard to believe looking back 4 years ago or whatever when all that shit went down.
Yeah,
That all the stuff that everybody went through, and everybody was down. Listen, for the first 10 days, everyone's like, yeah, we could fucking do this. Yeah, slow the spread, whatever. It'll be fun, not going to work, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Very quickly, it turned into, okay, this is insane what they're trying to do.
It turned into a social experiment.
Shit, I
Yeah,
still
and-
went into work. I did whatever the fuck I wanted.
did
I
too.
still
Every day.
California, too.
I went
We
into
work
work.
every fucking day. We had to. We produce food. You can't
Yeah,
just stop. I mean,
I
Yeah,
actually went into
COVID
work.
has like completely screwed up with my sense of time because I scrolled through my Twitter timeline and it said Avengers Endgame released 5 years ago. It's like, holy shit. It was
Yeah.
5 years ago. Like,
Well,
what is happening?
Well, now everything's like delineated between, pre-COVID and then after COVID. Like that's pretty much like if I talk to people, I'm like, oh yeah, it's always like it's either after or before COVID. Like that's just how I explain certain like time frames to people now. It's really funny.
It's also
that whole
interesting.
thing
Because
fucked us up.
it's also interesting because I'm still around. I still see people wearing masks.
Oh yeah.
Same.
And I see
I
that. and
I
I'm
don't
like,
see them all the time,
so-
but I mean, I don't see them in their cars doing it by themselves with a mask on, driving their cars. Like, what the fuck? But when I see them in like truck stops or stores, whatever, yeah, I see them, but I just ignore them. It's like,
I bet most of those.
But the thing is, though, if medical terms, you have that mask on, you're pretty much exhaling carbon dioxide and you're breathing it back into your system. That's gonna make you sick.
Well,
I've
No,
got
no,
a loan in
listen,
car
listen,
maskers in Arizona.
Huh?
I just point and laugh at them.
Doctors wear these masks for 10, 12, 13, 15 hours when they operate. That's just what you said there. It's not completely true. But the thing is, these masks were made for one thing, for people who were actually sick. They prevent the people who are sick from spreading it out. It does prevent you from getting it when you walk around and you're healthy. That was never the point with these masks. They've
They're
always...
only
the
for droplets. They're not for
if
viruses.
you were sick,
They're for spit and stuff. Yeah.
if you're sick, it makes sense for you to wear the mask. If you're not, it makes no sense.
yeah, and then just
Unless you want to talk about the people that live in Japan that wear masks, but that's a different story.
Though they don't wear masks because of bugs. They wear masks because their air is fucking dirty.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I don't know about Japan, but it's just kind of crazy to look back at all the things that happened, and now with everything we know 3 or 4 years later, how fucking absolutely insane, even more so than it seemed at the time, it seems now. But
only Sweden came through this with their heads held high. Only Sweden, the only country that didn't lock down.
Is that where you're from?
No, in Denmark. We locked down for we were one of the first countries to remove everything. We were locked down for like 6 months, and after that, everything was removed. All laws, all regulations, gone.
Yeah, it's interesting because Australia's still locked down.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad in Denmark. You got super stable internet, so.
Yeah.
And no news.
I remember when we were sitting gaming online, we just laughed. As nerds, we prepared for this our entire life to sit home alone. We were just like, no problem. I do this every day,
I'll say one thing that really pisses me off is, as being an Asian guy, is I noticed a lot of like younger, and then especially a lot of older like Asian people, whatever, they tend to wear the masks a lot. But the younger crowd, it almost seems like they wear it more as like a fashion statement now, or to be like, to say like, oh, I'm part of this group or whatever. And it pisses me off because like the mask to me is just like a symbol of slavery essentially for me. And just like, dude, I'm like, dude, like, why are you still wearing that? And what are you doing?
I think that's the only people that I've seen in recent memory wearing masks are basically when I'm traveling, and it almost always is Asian people.
Yeah.
I mean, in Asia, it's been the norm for many years because of the smog, and nobody bats an eye. I mean, every time I've been to London or Berlin or every other city, it takes me 2 or 3 days, and I really want to wear a mask because my lungs start to burn. The air is fucking dirty.
The worst ones are the ones who wear masks in their car. Like, why?
By themselves.
Because they're weak.
Because they're retarded.
Blue-Eyed Scorpio says he does it to accentuate his eyes.
That sounds like Blue-Eyed Scorpio. He would do that.
He would.
Is he a weeb? Sounds like a weeb.
Sundowners is talking about putting masks back on girls so we can bang them.
That's one good use.
Darth Racer for 10. People in the alphabet community have unsound minds.
Generally speaking.
That's for sure.
Except for mainly the L, the B's, and the G's. They are the normal people, mostly, right? And they are on their way to just cut connections with those who are
I
mentally.
I will tell you the people that I have met in my life that legitimately have like a vile hatred towards trans people are all gay and lesbian. Like the gays and lesbians, a lot of them despise
You
trans
guys
people.
get more attention than we do.
But that is
Right.
because being gay, lesbian, or bisexual is a natural thing. The
Mhm.
rest of the alphabet
Well.
community is not.
Well,
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
just
I don't know if
wanna-
we I don't know if we want to get into that, but yeah.
Yeah.
If you just want to
Gotta
pull
love
up
for
that
another
article
time.
from the New York Post and just read the title, I think it sums it up very well.
Gotta love how the
Yes.
only tranny in Fallout like puts a razor blade in her boot.
Yeah, that was very strange. But here we
Who
go.
are
Let me
they-
show this.
Who are they kidding with that trans character? I mean, like, dude, that was I knew like right when I saw that girl or whoever the fuck, I was like, dude, that's a fucking trans dude, and they got that little like drawn-on fucking mustache. I was like, oh come
The
on.
pencil mustache.
Yeah.
I was
Is-
like, is that a man or is that a woman? I can't tell.
Woke people more likely to be unhappy. God damn it! What the fuck? Is that Bon Jovi?
Hey, Gary's favorite band.
Woke people more likely to be unhappy, anxious, and depressed. New study suggests. And then of
Oh,
course
you think?
they've got masks on. Right
They
here.
had to do a study
It's be-
for that one, huh?
It's because woke people build their whole livelihoods about controversies and injustices that they need to solve. As soon as those injustices are solved, they have nothing left to fight for.
On to the next one. Then I got to create one. That's how it works.
There's a story about a son who moves away very early from home because he and his father they don't come they can't be in one room. They hate each other, and he has this internalized hatred. And when his mother dies, he goes to the funeral, and he doesn't cry. But suddenly, a few years later, his father dies, and he just cries uncontrollably. And the story is that he now loses the one focus he has, and that is the hate of his father. He now has nothing left in his life. He has nothing to focus his hate on. That focus is now gone. And it's the same with people who are woke. Once what they hate is gone, the emptiness strikes. Right? And they have nothing to be. Woke people come together in the things they hate. But when that thing they hate is gone, now what? Right? If you're like a normal person, you don't run around and are perpetually offended or hate things. Well,
listen, I hate a lot, Mr. J. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I do too.
I will never run out of things. But that's just
Yeah.
kind of like my everyday life. Like that's just what happens to me. Darth
That's why we
Razor
like-
for another 5. It's normal for men and women to be attracted to each other. No research needed. Thank you, Darth Racer.
That's true.
No research.
What is a woman,
needed.
though?
Yeah. What is
Good
a
question.
woman?
Yes, that's that
I don't
one.
know.
I don't know.
Oh,
Subscribe to
yeah,
Daily
cock,
Wire
yeah.
and find out.
They got a
Of
cat
course,
in
sleazy
vagina.
shilling for Daily Wire.
No. Go look at my videos on the Daily Wire on my channel. I
Just kidding.
hate them so
Listen,
much.
he has a big ass poster of Ben Shapiro in his bedroom.
No, just Abby
Yeah,
Shapiro.
that's right. I'm a
Yes, there you
That
go.
one I
And a
understand.
poster of Brett
House
Cooper
type.
above his bed too. So.
Gotta get those shekels somehow.
Look, if someone
actually
tells me
do
they
have the Daily
answers,
Wire,
all I have to do is pay them.
Truth bomb right there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool
Um,
though. The truth bomb.
That was back before everyone didn't know what the Daily Wire really was. So
Well, I don't. Well, I think people have made I actually think that people have made assumptions that the Daily Wire was more like hardcore writer based than they thought they were. Where like like they've never changed. This is
No.
so they are. I feel like slightly right of where the Republican Party in America is right now in general. They're slightly right of that. They're more focused on more like actually political viable discussions and things like that than people who are really tired of everything happening in politics right now. So I think some people made some assumptions about who they felt the Daily Wire was, and they ended up catching heat when people then realized it wasn't what they thought it was.
Yeah,
Well, the
it
Daily
was an
Wire-
exciting time when people thought they were going to move the needle with the culture war by making movies and stuff like that, but that didn't really happen very, or at least it didn't unfold the way we thought it would.
One thing I'm excited about is the Pendragon cycle that they've been working on. There's a lot of cool behind the scenes shit that's come out from that. And that's like I think it could be cool if it's done right. So we'll see. In terms of the Snow White thing, it's funny to like own Disney with it, but I can't be like, I really am looking forward to Snow White from Daily Wire. I can't say
By
that.
the way, is that Rachel Zegler Snow White movie still coming out, or has that been canceled?
No, it's
I think it's
next.
been delayed again, isn't it?
No, it's coming out. It's coming out next year. It got delayed about a year in the aftermath of all the writer's strike, actors strike delays, and everything.
I had forgotten all about that movie. Thank you very much.
They didn't have to reshoot the dwarf scenes. Those are fucking lies. Those are that are being spread. Fuck you.
I knew it would trigger you.
One of the things I dislike about some of the big controversial stuff that comes up is when it passes the entertainment discussion sphere and transcends the political talking point sphere, because then you really start to see things that aren't necessarily the case, but it sounds like something people really want to think is the case, end up getting out. Like the idea of them, well, they're actually changed. They got rid of those diverse dwarves, and now they're going CGI dwarves. No, the diverse dwarves weren't ever actually dwarves. They're a different faction that's in this movie called the Bandits. And their leader is Jonathan, or whatever the cuck non-love interest but male lead's name is. He's their leader. And Snow White is the leader of the dwarves, which is a separate faction. And that was pretty clear early on from a couple things, but then the story got out there. They completely changed everything because of backlash. No, they didn't. It was always CGI dwarves and this diverse group of bandits.
Well, I'm still saying if they had to reshoot the dwarves just to piss you off.
Yeah, I fucking know you are.
I want a movie with Smurf diversity.
Well, hey Ryan. So I might be going off topic here a little bit, but the point I wanted to make with what you said about the merging of like politics and pop culture together, that's one of the reasons I stopped watching movies and like TV shows and stuff. It was so blatant that I couldn't take it anymore. So
I end up being way more interested now in just watching something that I know I like and I know is good, or rewatching a series again, than being like, I'm interested in it, but am I gonna take a dive in this? Obviously, I watch a lot of I do watch a lot of new stuff to see what it is or review, or if I'm genuinely interested in it. The stuff I have no interest in, I don't watch, even if I wanted to review it or something, because it's if I'm not interested, I'm not gonna watch.
I just started to rewatch Deep Space Nine for probably the 18th or 19th time.
That's a good one.
God, that show is so good.
But I still like.
And I'm only watching it for Garrick and Dr. Bashir. Those are my two favorite characters.
The two best characters. I want you to take that rod and eat it. But eat it? You're joking. Yes, Doctor, I am. I love the
and Avery, by the way, Avery is the best. For me, I think it's the best
Cisco?
captain in every.
Oh, he's the best captain by far.
Yeah. I mean,
where he like nukes a planet in order to capture a terrorist, and goes.
I just think his acting. It's just the only one who comes close is Patrick Stewart.
True.
Yeah, I have Max, so I've been watching all the old Batman, Justice League, Superman stuff that I used to watch back as a kid. Those old cartoons, they never change. Yeah. But I also got my anime and stuff like that I watch also, which I'm still trying to get Ryan to watch. There's some good ones out there.
Yeah,
you need to watch Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer is great. I'm actually ahead in the manga. So
no, we all know Ryan has to watch redo of Healer.
Oh yeah,
I have no interest in degenerate shit like that.
That's degenerate.
All right, Matt Walsh.
Yeah. If I can make a suggestion, Ryan, there's one anime. It's like I think it's from the 90s. It's a movie. It's called Jinro, the Wolf Brigade, and pretty much it's about what would have happened if Germany would have won the war, and it's like based in Japan and all that. I think you would like it.
I think it's on YouTube.
You think I could see myself in that? Is that what you're saying?
No. Hey, you said it, not me, man. You said it, not me, dude.
I actually really like. Would kill you.
I think the Amazon had a show 10 years ago or something.
Man in the
When
High
they-
Castle.
Yes, when they first started putting out stuff, one of the
Yeah.
first originals
Yeah,
they put
yeah,
out
yeah.
was Man in the High Castle. I'm
Yeah.
probably exaggerating with 10 years, but something like that. And I really liked that show. That was this reality of what America would look like if, Germany and Japan had won the war, and like half the country is controlled by Germany. The West Coast is controlled by Japan. There's like Rocky Mountains area. It's like this kind of demilitarized zone and shit. It was very interesting. Just like
Yeah.
kind of an alternative future type of
And then
thing.
it
really
extended.
Does
I
anybody
really liked
remember
the first
the
two seasons of that show, but I felt like near the end it got really stupid.
it really went off the rails. It was
There
kind of a
a
crazy
portal
premise
to
in
another
general.
dimension or something.
Well, yeah,
Does
because it was a weird premise in general because they were like, these tapes would get discovered of what our reality is. Like Germany lost the war and like all this shit. But they had those tapes in this fictional other potential reality. You know what I mean? So it got crazy. But go ahead.
Did you ever see the CSA Netflix original? It's old. I think it came back out in like 2012, maybe. It was alternate history, but the Confederacy had won the war.
Oh, that sounds so
Oh
familiar.
yeah.
I don't. Is it an
Sounds so
actual like
familiar.
show or is it more like
It was a
fake
movie
documentary thing?
Yeah, it
or-
was like a fake
It's like a
fake
what if.
documentary that Netflix produced. It was
Like a
actually
what
it was funny and good. It really was.
Sleazy. Did they have like certain advertisements? Like it was like
Yes.
ads that they would run, and it was
Yes.
like all about it was like all like Confederate and like it was kind of okay. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know
Yes.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
If you want to watch a show about alternative realities, just go way back and watch Sliders.
Yeah.
Well, not the last season. Not the last season. Just stay way away from that last season. But the first couple of seasons, really good.
Yeah, because even Flesh has a little clip in his 20-minute intro from Sliders, doesn't he? Or am I thinking
Yeah.
of something else? Yeah.
No, Sliders is the one with what's his face. He played Gimli in
John Rhys
Yeah.
Davies.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of the main characters in that show.
Darth Racer for 10. Matt Walsh and Benny Johnson had an interview together. Matt is definitely on the Trump train, as is Ben. Well, thank you, Darth Racer. I don't know how heavy. Obviously he's going to vote for him and stuff like that. I don't know if he would have been his preferred candidate originally, but obviously now that he is the guy, I'm sure he's behind him. Talking about Matt Walsh, obviously. Magna Defender for $5. Have you guys seen Trashcast? It's a react stream by EVS. Does the Fellowship generally despise EVS, or is their criticism blown out of proportion?
I
I
stopped
will.
watching.
So I will talk about this. You guys don't need to answer this. I can't say I watch Trashcast. I haven't watched Ethan in a while. Obviously, clips get shared and see it's this guy says this guy says that. I personally focus on what I'm doing, so I'm not too concerned with people reacting to whatever. You know what I mean?
I'll make one comment, and it's entirely my own. Internet drama is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I
I'm not sitting there trying to tear anybody down or whatever. I'm just doing my thing, doing stuff with Geeks and Gamers, doing stuff with FNT, and I wish everybody all the success in the world. But no, I don't typically watch EBS.
All I'll say about EVS is Ethan comes across as a guy who's very jealous that Ripa is more successful than him.
All right,
That's
so
the main
this is not what this is going to turn into.
Yeah.
Just like I said, just like we said, drama, bullshit, tearing other people that are just creators in the space down. That's not what this is going to turn into. This is not a trash cast. So I said my piece.
Yeah.
That's it. Moving on.
Moving on.
But yeah, and moving on, that's pretty much all we have because we usually go about 2 hours on this stream. We're going to start wrapping it up. Once again, if you guys didn't know, these guys that are here on this stream, they're some of my biggest supporters, whether it's on Patreon, YouTube membership, over on the main channel, RK Outpost, or whether it's over on Locals. I appreciate the hell out of them, and I'm glad that they came on here, got to talk, give their viewpoints, shit like that. And this is the time that they get to promote what they are doing. So if you like it here, like what they said, or you just want to support me, support these guys too, because they're fucking awesome. So
It's
we
called
will
Sugar Daddies.
Yeah, so we will go through and let everybody introduce themselves and say where they can, if they have anything to promote, where they can be found. Alec Baldwin's Finger.
So after the Orlando meetup, just made a lot of friends over there, and we decided to make a podcast together. And we named that the GCA. And once a week on Wednesdays, we have a show called Late and Gay with the GCA. So you can find us over there. You can, I don't know if anyone's dropping links right now. It's just the space GCA if you search for it.
I think I got it here. The GCA. Boom. But, putting it down there.
We have a lot of community members over there. Everyone's having a great time, and it'd be great to grow it. So.
Hell yes. A shout out. Thanks for coming on for the first time, ABF. And shout out to the GCA. Sleazy, where can people find you?
Well, I'm Sleazy of Sleazy Society. You can find me on YouTube. Do videos Monday through Thursday. Fridays are fun streams. Sundays, I do the Shameless Shekel Shakedown. Yes, fantastic. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to be starting the Alien RPG series. I'm looking for one, possibly two people that are interested in joining an RPG. And that should be tons of fun and craziness.
There you go. I also put Sleazy in there. Low Watermark, who just recently started a channel. What are you talking about, and where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm not actually really interested in people going to my channel just yet because I really only have a couple of videos up on it. I've decided to focus on doing live streaming so that I can, and not on my channel as well. I'm streaming on a channel called BTM Reviews. It's not a very big channel. He started it just a couple months ago. We get maybe 50, 60 people. If Ethan is streaming his stuff, we get maybe 100, 120, 150 people once or twice, if no competition is against us. So I'm streaming over there basically to understand how it works, to get used to, turn on the microphone and trying to say something intelligent, not looking like a fool, not getting stuck, so it's practice for me. And so that's where I am now. I want to get good at talking off the cuff first and then decide what type of videos I want to make. So I won't even bother saying the channel. It's Low Watermark 9, but don't bother subscribing there really, because don't expect too much in the near term.
Well, there you go. Thanks for coming on, man. And maybe in the future, you'll put a little more stuff out there. We can promote it and grow your subs. So thanks, man.
Sure. Thanks.
Yo, Pops, what are you up to, and where can people find you?
I'm on X and YouTube, YoPops215. The YouTube channel, I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do with that. So to be determined. Find me on Instagram, Spicy Taco OC. And you can also find me with the GCA with ABF right over there. And then with Mo and Nagnal and our lovely ladies, Jess and Lady Medea and Malty, and I might be forgetting some other people. Oh, and Hoodie. So yeah, find me there.
Yeah, I saw the GCA people very present in the chat today. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to the GCA and Mr. J.
Yeah, I'm nowhere to be found. So stop looking. I'm hiding.
There we go. What about you, Reefer?
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can, but I don't tweet unless I'm on the shitter. And
Twitter on the shitter.
Yeah, I only scroll it when I'm on the shitter too, so I don't see it. If someone replies to me, I ain't gonna fucking see it.
Well, there you go. What a ringing endorsement of yourself.
Yeah.
I will put it in the chat anyway if you want to follow Sir Reaper. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Grandmaster Chris, where can people find you and what are you up to?
You can follow me on YouTube and on Twitter. I don't call it X. That's super gay. I still call it Twitter. If you want to watch me on YouTube, I do lots of gaming streams. I've recently been playing Mass Effect as well as Call of Duty Zombies, which is a really fun game mode in my opinion. And I actually earlier this month, I actually uploaded one of the few videos I do where you can hear my voice, where I did predictions for early this month WrestleMania, and I got every single prediction right except for one. So yay me. And that's about it. Also, before we head out, I gotta ask you guys: Deadpool 3 $1 billion or no?
No.
50-50.
No, I'm predicting 800 million.
Yeah, if you put a gun in my head, I'm going to say no. But I'm not going to be surprised if it does blow up to over it.
It might break even.
Well, we don't know what the budget is, so it's tough to know what break even is.
Yeah, if we know what the budget is, then yeah, we'll know if it'll break even or not.
But thank you, Grandmaster Chris. Crazy Actual. Where can people find you?
Right now, I don't have anything online, but this summer we're going to be going loud. My son and I are going to be starting a hobby center where I've got about, I'm going to be putting sleazy to shame. I got about 6 figures worth of Warhammer, Star Wars Legion, a bunch of other stuff we're going to be sharing to all the club members as well as RC stuff.
Hell yeah, dude. And that's coming in a couple months, you said?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, we got to promote that when that comes out, dude, or when it opens up. That'll be awesome. And of course, Subhuman 84.
You can find me on Twitter and on the road.
Are you doing anything on YouTube channel anymore? Or?
No, I've been trying to, but my job.
It's hard to keep up with the driving and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also the fact that, with me who wants to do videos, do live streams, all that, I don't know if I'm going to have good internet or if I have to do a lot of editing. And like I said, I could be driving during the daytime or the nighttime. So I'm just like, I'll just hang out in the chats and live streams and all that stuff. And I'll just continue with my driving. I make more money doing this than I would with YouTube.
There you go. Well, thank you, Subhuman, for being here, man. Animating Andy for 2. I see why Alec Baldwin's finger never misses. Now that's right. You can see right behind him. Got everything scoped up, sided up. So
Brian,
thanks
can
to the
I
night
interrupt
force.
for 15 seconds?
Yeah.
Go follow Biggles. His channel is criminally underrated. The dude is actually an awesome dude. Go to Biggles' channel and subscribe. He's actually a really good dude, as much shit as I give him.
He is, and he did put his stuff in here before he left. But let me actually get his channel here and put it in as well. Boom, 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 boom. There's Biggles right there. I forgot to I guess you probably tell because it says Biggles Mets, but you could probably figure it out.
If you enjoy satanic anime, he's the channel for you.
Hey, I like watching his anime stuff. It's really good. He also does it with the Sporking on Thursdays.
Yes. So subscribe to all these awesome guys who are fucking here, giving their opinions on different shit, which is probably a little more entertaining than just listen to me rant over and over and over again. But speaking of that, I will be ranting by myself in probably an hour and a half is probably when I'm going to go live. I need to take a break, get a drink, do some shit, and then I'll be back and set up the whole stream still. 5:30 on the main channel for my normal Sunday stream. But thank you, everybody that joined me. Thank you, everybody in the chat for the super chats, for the likes, the shares, the comments, everything. Appreciate the hell out of it. And we will talk to you next supporter stream Sunday, which should be May 26th. Unless anything changes between now and then, May 26th will be the next supporter stream. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Bye, my hard R's.
Jesus.